Hello and welcome to the second ever video on my YouTube channel. Well, as you can see, I am reviewing a Transformer. I do not know what I'm going to do with this channel, so I'm just dabbling in a bit of everything that I can actually get my hands on and take a look at. So as you can see, this is Takara Legends Topspin. So basically the Japanese version of Titan's Return, and he comes with a target master called Peacemaker, but if you are English or American, you'll know him as Peacemaker. Now these two aren't meant to be paired together, it is meant to be two different people, two different Transformers that pair up together, so it's not meant to be these two. But, you know, I'll get my hands on a nice little target master if I can, and the reason why you know that it's the Japanese version is because it's literally called the Japanese version, and it is indeed a little tiny Titan Master, which is the best painted one I've got. Thank you, Japan. Now, I went with the Japanese version because A, it was in stock, and B, if I can get this head on, and B, I just really preferred this colour blue, because the Hasbro one, it's all well and good, but it is teal. The Japanese version is so much more paint, looks so much better plastic, I think, or at least that's what I've heard from other reviews. I don't actually have Hasbro one, I just have a couple of minor issues. Got a speck of paint there, with silver, a speck of paint there, which again is silver. But other than that, it is a clean Transformer. Thank you very much, Kapow Toys. Definitely go check them out, they are very good. And then, a little Peacemaker. Very simple. Articulation includes ball jointed shoulder, which means it can rotate. Full 180, can go out to that far. Nothing at the elbow. Nothing at the waist. Leg can kick out that far. Leg can kick back that far. Knee on a ball joint, which also means it can be a swivel. And yeah, that's about it. So to transform him, you pop this up, you flip that out, which then unlocks a waist rotation, which at the same time rotates the head. It's on the same pin. And then you want to rotate the knees around, and flip it over. You then want to collapse it all in, and boom, you have a little single-barreled, beautiful, really nice looking gun mode. For what it is, it's basically just a robot folded up into a cube with his backpack elongated. But it's simple, it's mainline, so don't expect anything of it. Yeah, it's not too bad. Also, if you were to disattach this with it's just on a friction peg, or pin, then that allows you to use the waist rotation and the basically head rotation and get a bit more of a dynamic pose if he will stand up, which I don't think he's going to want to. Please stand up. Hey, he stood up. But then that means you have to find somewhere to put this, so parts forming isn't your thing, which I know that a lot of people don't like it. Shock horror. It's a toy. Plug it back on. Oh, no, I can't. There we go. Connect it back in. There you go. There you go. Well, let's take him off to the side, and let's have a look at Topspin himself. My camera is not tall enough. And by camera, I mean phone on a really, really rushed little platform. It is not tall enough. So, maybe if I bring it back a bit. Yeah, but now you can see my printer. Oh well. Just gonna have to do it from this distance, and then when I want to, bring them closer in and show you off some details, which I'm going to do right now. So you have some yellow here, which I don't think is on the Hasbro one. You have the Autobot insignia there. You have some black detail here. This is now a sort of a grey instead of, I think, on the Hasbro one, a teal. This, I can't remember what colour this was. I think it was black on the Hasbro one. And in all honesty, it would have looked amazing if they kept this blue part here black. But the copper really, really looks amazing. The silver is a much better silver. The wings are the exact same, I think, with the red line on both sides, and I think this has now been painted instead of just being left. I think this yellow here is a bit brighter. The blue is much more of a actual visor blue, a bit like Jazz and everybody. They were always a light blue, not a dark metallic. Yeah, quite a lot of it is obviously as you'd expect it to be, so like the hands aren't black or anything, they're just the same colour as the rest of his body. And honestly, that's not too bad. You got minimal kibble, and in fact this is basically his animation model, so it doesn't look too bad. Just wish that could fold up a bit more, but I don't mind it. It does look quite nice. It does look quite nice. Right, so for posability, his head is on a Titan Master ball joint, so do the full 180, can look up, oh god, can look up that far and down that far, bit of side to side, but doesn't really stay very well, although I actually take that back, it might, I don't know. Arms are on a hinge joint here, so bring it up, bring it down, bring it really down if you wanted to. Then there's a really big ball joint. That is pretty big. And it can go 360, go out to there. Also, it is slightly hinged up, so if you were to have it level, it would just go out to there. This can just go backwards and forwards, and there are like little points where it rests really well. So don't worry about it having to be perfect, it's fine. You then have a bicep rotation, double bend at the elbow, one bend gets you to there, second hinge gets you to there, nothing at the wrist, waist rotation, and due to transformation a ab crunch, except it really does break the mould. So if you were going to do it, only do it very slightly and have it front on, but I'd just leave it alone. And do the full splits if I can get the arms out of the way. Full splits. Back to there. Pretty decent kick. Thigh rotation. Pretty decent knee bend. I'd say it's a 90-degree bend. Also that flap just moved back in. Yeah, the flap is posable, but it kind of clicks into place. Kinda. Nothing at the foot, but okay, that's understandable. Although Siege and Earthrise, that's blown everything out the water for the mainline Transformer figures. It is so good, and I'm looking at getting the Optimus Prime from Kapow Toys. Unfortunately, they're out of stock currently, and so I'll hopefully be getting an email sometime this week to say that it's back in stock, and then I'll have that, and I will review that, along with all my other Transformers. I do have quite a few. So, on to transformation. You want to tear off the head. Basically just lie him down. He doesn't really peg in, and also you can't leave him sat because then the canopy won't close, so basically just fold him out flat. Move him off to the side. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open this at a hinge. You're then going to want to push the foot in, like so. Just nudged my phone. Then do the same on the other side, then leave that alone. Then you're going to want to open this flap up, use the two hinges, compress it in, collapse in the hand, and then there you go. So then it will look like that. And yay, the bicep rotation. Sorry, not the thigh, I hope. The bicep rotation is still there, that's all good. Do the same on the other side. I'm just going to do this pretty quick. There we go. Then what you're going to want to do is rotate the waist 180. There we go, that's a bit better. Then you want to snap him in half right there, and you want to rotate his entire torso around so it clicks in there for robot mode. You open it up, you rotate it around, then you snap it back in. So there's your head joint, and you snap it back in. Then you want to open the canopy slightly. You're then going to want to fold that out, leave it open for a second, drop your Titan Master in, and I do mean drop, it doesn't really peg in as I said. Hinge the arms down, peg them in, there we go. Then collapse the legs, like so. Make sure that these parts go into these grooves, that's not too bad. Click it together, and on this one it is a very tight connection, and it's amazing. It is so good. Fold down the knee pads, get into here, flip out your landing gear, which barely touches the ground, and there you go. They have Topspin in vehicle mode, and let's just bring in our, for God's sake, stand up, our peacemaker. And if we open up the canopy again and bring in, I have no idea who the little tiny dude is. I don't know. I'll have to look at what the Hasbro one says. But basically it's just another generic Titan Master in 2 different colours and then a painted head. A head backpack. So there they are scaled. I currently have nothing on hand to scale it with. I should have been clever about this and brought in a couple of other Transformers. But he is a deluxe class. He's pretty big for a scale. He's not quite a Voyager class, but he is a deluxe class. So, if you got Optimus Prime, the Last Knight variant, like I do, then it is a bit shorter than him. By about that much, probably. So he is definitely a deluxe class, and it is absolutely amazing. These back thrusters are now painted, unlike the Hasbro's unpainted, just teal blue, which kind of looked meh, half finished. Got some silver on the wings with some red, got that dark blue again, really wish that was black. Beautiful copper, transparent blue windscreen. No, it's not cockpit. It's not a windscreen. Tiny, I think that's tamper-graphed. Little tiny Autobot symbol. Let me just flip up the landing gear because it's kind of annoying. And yeah, got some silver on the top. Got sort of white underneath. It's a different colour to this. This is more of a dirty white, I guess, but this is definitely a very nice white, and I think it was originally blue plastic, then painted white and silver, I think. I don't know much about paint, and I don't know how they do it, so I'm probably most definitely wrong. There is Topspin, there is Peacemaker, there is generic dude who nobody actually gives a damn about, unless he is transformed, and there is my review. Please like and subscribe. This is my first time properly venturing onto YouTube. I have tried it in the past. It went horribly wrong. Let's just say it didn't upload, and it was saying it would take it 2 hours. For God's sake, I don't understand. So I'm trying again, and this is Takara Legends Topspin. Hope you enjoyed.